Hello again. I am jumping on here today to share. I don't even know like how to put all of this into words, but um, I have something on my heart that I think is inspiring and maybe a bit different. And yeah, I just want to give another perspective to the car incidents, the car crash that I had a few days ago. Because so what happens is that um, 2 days ago I was driving straight on a street, and I didn't drive very fast. I drove less than 50. It was just on a little one-way street here where I live, and right in front of me from a cross from the left side comes a car driving more than 50, straight out in front of me. He wants to cross straight over, and I bump into his exact side of the car with my front of the car. So very, very, very lucky. Nothing happened. He didn't have a passenger in his car, so nothing happened. Um, I had my son in the car and nothing happened to us, even though the whole front of the car was completely smashed. Airbags came out and front window, every interior inside of the car has been moved. Nothing happened to me or my son. So very, very lucky, and I feel very blessed for that. So I really do feel that this was a car crash and not an accident. Um, and why is that? Because right when it happened, my first thoughts were, I mean, right when it happened, my first thoughts was like, shit, what's going on? But when I like realized that we had this car crash and like realized what was going on, and we were okay, and we were sitting out on the street, and like we were obviously in shock. Um, First thoughts that came in was like, oh my god, we just paid money to pass this car that same morning, and the yearly passing of it, the ITV here in Spain. I also just lost the keys for the car like 2 weeks ago, so we also just paid a lot of money to replace the key. And we had fixed the car, and we also paid for that. So first first thing was like, why is this happening? And I think this is the very normal response when something bad happens or something goes against us or something happens to us. And then I was just thinking, I mean, besides of course being super blessed, I'm sure when these things happens, everyone also thinks that I'm so blessed, nothing happened. It gives life perspective and stuff like that. So that's not what I want to talk into. Of course we also have that, but I want to talk into this idea that we get the perspective of that something bad happened to us. Because what hit me was, okay, I had a feeling with this car, and let me tell you the story of this car, because that was what made me have a different perspective. So when I got this car, 7 years ago, I think I bought it secondhand. And when I saw it, I was just like, oh my God, this is my dream car for now. It's so beautiful. When I saw it at the shop, I was like, oh my God, can that be mine? And when I was driving that car for years, every time I got into it, I felt like a queen. And it was so clean and so well maintained for a secondhand car. It didn't have any scratches. It was totally suiting my image, and it was totally suiting my personality and where I was in life. And I was so proud of driving it, and I really took good care of that car. Really, really, really appreciate it. And that feeling stayed for me for so long. Like, even then moving to Spain and having that journey ahead of me, I was like, should I sell it? No, I want to keep it. You know, like this is a car. We've been through so many things. I've been driving all around Europe with it with my son, and it's been with me through my divorce and has taken me and my son on so many beautiful trips in difficult times. You know, it's been providing me a lifestyle where I felt free because I could just take the car without having a budget. I could take the car and just feel free and go on small journeys and feel rich to go on these journeys all the time. Like every month we would go different places, explore cultures and cities. So it's like that car just meant so much to me, and it was totally suiting me. Then before leaving Denmark and before we bought the caravan and left, I started having a different view on that car, and I took a big decision in my system. Not, it was also a big decision to leave, but it was a decision that I took in my heart. My heart had told me that it's time to go on this trip and build my community. And at that time, I felt a shift with the car, and there was something where I up leveled myself and I stepped into more expanded version of myself by taking that decision and giving up great for better. You know, like I didn't let go of the car because obviously I still didn't have the budget to just like fly around and stay in hotels and stuff. So I kept the car and got the caravan, and then we drove out. And on that trip as well, I was so blessed to have this car. I still appreciated it so much, but I could feel that it had changed. It was like it's not strong enough to carry the caravan. It's not supposed to be this way. I needed a stronger and bigger car for my stronger and bigger futuristic plans. And then arriving in Oliva, getting settled in, and yeah, like building the community and really stepping into my next expanded version, I outgrew this car so much. And I started looking at it like, oh, it's not cool for me anymore. It doesn't suit my image. It's not the car that I look at in the same way as I used to do. And I felt so sad and heartbroken about that because I felt like I'm not appreciating it, because it served me for so many beautiful journeys. And I think that message is very, very deep and beautiful, and also something that we don't talk much about because it's shameful. It's shameful to be ungrateful and want more. And it's shameful to admit that something has left us, that we have just outgrown something. And I think actually, I mean, this is just a car, but I think it applies to everything in our life. It applies to materialistic things like my car or furniture in your house, but also relationships, also values, also ways that you look at other people or at your house or the town you live in. And I think it's important that we start talking about the honesty in our desires, and that it's not about, I think, like I'm too good for that car now, or it's not good enough for me, but it's like I've just outgrown it. It has served its purpose. It has been with me for the time it was supposed to be with me, and to the point where I looked at it and just felt like really sad about it. Like, I'm not embarrassed about driving this car, but it's like I don't feel at all that we suit each other. It's like I don't care about it anymore, and that is a very sad place for me to reach to with that car, because I do want to keep in my memory how much joy it has brought me, and not that I'm tired of it or it's looking really used and it's getting broken and it's getting old, and um so I didn't deal with that. I didn't go with it, even though I felt it, because I felt limited on money. And looking at all of these like feelings, at one point a few months ago, we actually looked into, because it had a major thing that it needed to change for, and I was like, does it make sense to keep putting money into this car when it's not worth so much and when it's not the car that I really want? Should we just sell it as it is and give it a rest and cut ties? I'll let go of it. It served me, thank you. And then getting a new one, or even leasing a car or something, so I could get something that is matching who I'm growing into, who I'm expanding myself into. And I couldn't do that because I don't have a salary registered in Spain and all that. Um, so I just kind of were like, okay, that's not possible. So I gave up and I kept the car and we put the money into it. And then the key got lost. And then we had issues with the ITV that we just got solved and then like pushed it through. And, everything felt so pushed in the end. And then I honestly, from my heart, feels that this was a message from my car saying, you cannot let me go, so I am gonna let me go. I am gonna make an incident for myself. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with the one that will be involved. I don't know what his journey is. Maybe he has something similar going on, or he has a lesson that he is about to be involved in, that why we are brought together. But for sure, I feel that it had nothing to do with me and Adam being in a car accident. I felt 100% that this was my car's way of saying, enough, Marie. You are not letting me go, and I've asked to be let go for a while now, and now I take the decision for you. So I'm gonna make myself completely smashed so you cannot even repair me, and then you find a solution and move on, and you take the responsibility necessary so that you can expand with what you have started and decided on. And I think that way of seeing things is totally next level. It's like it empowers me, it makes me grow, it makes me believe that I can move into everything that I'm moving into. It makes me believe that everything that I'm fighting for here is the right thing. So, do you see the difference? It's like I could sit and feel panicking and pressured about, I need to go get myself a new car now, and oh my god, I don't have a car, I need to cancel everything, and what do I do? Panic. Like, what would that give me? That would give me a big headache. It would make myself small. It would make me do panic decisions. It would definitely not give me anything useful or anything beautiful. It would give me stress, and it would give me a overloaded nervous system. But this way, and that's even the funny part, like, who cares if it's true or not? Who cares if my car, and if you believe in a universe and destiny and all of that, like, just the fact that I choose to believe in it makes my nervous system calm. And in the end of the day, all I care about is like, whatever story do I need to believe in so that my nervous system can stay calm and I can take the decisions that is best for my higher self and the direction that I'm expanding in, and to avoid, these panic, irrational solutions that is just coming out of panic, and it's bringing me back in my loop of going downwards. Um, it's also the energy being spent in the day. Like, obviously, when something like that happens, there's a lot of tension around it. Everyone is asking what's going on, what happened, what story are we sharing when that comes up, you know? Not saying that it should be neglected, because I'm totally not neglecting it. Like, I've been super tired, and my system, we got into a huge shock, you know? So it's not that nothing happened and, oh, every day is a good day and we're just walking on roses here and not facing anything. But it is really a practice to train our mind to think something different than what we are told, and what our survival system is also pushing us into believing. Because it is like, you know, adrenaline kicks in and shock comes up, and it's like, oh my god, run for your life. But we do have the option of stopping for a minute, or at least when we stop, ask ourselves, like, what story am I telling, and how is that benefiting or harming me? um so I think it's like, it just leaves me with a lot of confidence, and it's true, it's okay, you know. It leaves me with the feeling of trust, and it leaves me with the feeling of I'm on the right path. Imagine having a car crash, being totally isolated where you live, not having a car, and all you're full of is trust. That is totally next level, and this is a great place to move forward in life with. When I am full of trust, and when I have like calm nervous system, I'm able to create from my core and from my aligned center. I'm able to stay calm as a mom, stay calm in the community that I'm creating, stay calm in my mind, where if I would go with that panic and that attitude of like, it's like a place of lack, I'm missing something, like something has been taken away from me, and now I don't, and now I'm limited, I would be snapping at my son, I would be irritated, I would be sleeping bad at night trying to figure out how I should solve everything, you know. Which is also a good, if you do have troubles with these like thoughts and stuff, which I did the first night, is tapping, and just to be like tapping the trust into my system. Like, it's okay, I love myself even though I have all these worst case scenarios, and I feel the panic in my system, I feel my nervous system being very overloaded and very overstimulated and in shock and survival. I still love myself. I trust that my system is doing what it can to calm down. And I allow trust to come in. I allow everything to be aligned. I allow love and abundance and freedom to flow in my system. Um, so I think like tapping for me is 100% something that is really beneficial. But whatever works for you, you know, like whatever is your key to get into this trusting place of the higher good, of we are more people involved in things here. There's a greater picture. What have you wished for long time ago? What are you actually heading towards, where you can see that maybe this is actually a part of my wish, but it is something that I need to let go of and make room for in order to move on and allow the next big amazing thing to enter my life. So yeah, want to keep it short. It's not a big a big deal, but I did want to put a little bit more words into it, to what I could just share on Instagram. But um yeah, let me know what you think. Go find me on Instagram. Let's talk. If you have similar situations, I would love to hear from you. um yeah, I am just in a place now where I go and dream. I keep my focus. That car, new dream car, doesn't come into my life without me having action on what I have decided. So keep on going, Marie. keep your focus, keep your willpower to break through, do what's necessary to get your targets, and go buy that freaking dream car of yours that is suiting your image. And that's basically what I'm telling myself these days. All right, I'm off again. I hope you'll have a beautiful day. Sending so much love and so many warm hugs to you. If you need it or not, they are there. And take care.